Hmm. So yesterday we started with what are the different cloud services Salesforce provide you. So out of context, we came to know that Salesforce is the only one, the only cloud-based vendor, the only cloud-based software company that is capable to provide you all three kinds of cloud services, including SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. Now we had already discussed onto this, like how exactly Salesforce provide you SaaS and the PaaS. Let's take a quick revision of 1 minute so that we would understand it once again. That as a part of SaaS, Salesforce provide you the world's only and one of the very biggest cloud-based CRM, Salesforce CRM. And CRM, by the way, stands for Customer Relationship Management. Yesterday, we extended this discussion and we also have discussed what exactly it means by a CRM, right? The next part of this is Salesforce also provide you PaaS, platform as a service. Now, when we say the Salesforce provide you a platform, so we first of all should understand SaaS is basically used by whom and PaaS is basically who used by whom. See, SaaS is for the end users, our clients, our customers, right? They are basically using an application. That application we call this as a SaaS. But PaaS is typically for the developers who actually do the development, who develop this kind of application, who involve in the product development, right? So whenever we as a software developer we work, we certainly require so many different tools. We require a whole bunch of environments so that we could either create a new application, we could make some changes in the existing application, in the existing one. So Salesforce even provide you that as well, because Salesforce is a software development firm ultimately. So Salesforce has their own language, like Microsoft have, like the Sun Microsystem have. There are so many different organizations, everyone have their own way of developing an application. Salesforce also have that. But the beauty of Salesforce development is like Salesforce development is divided into two parts. The one where the coding is involved, and second, which actually covers more than 70% of real-time development, where you don't require to code, something called as configuration. So the configuration, what we are going to start next would be, the admin module. I told you my part in this whole training would be Salesforce Classic. Salesforce Classic have four things: admin, development, integrations, and then finally deployments. Now, admin and deployment, that means the first and the last part is purely a non-coding part. All of the things, whatever you will be going to learn in admin as well as in deployment, they are completely a non-coding. And this covers more than 70% of actual product development. And for rest of the 40 to 30%, there are certain coding requirements as well. So we will be going to learn that as well in the development. So it would be like, the roadmap of the classic training, Salesforce classic training would be like, first you will be going to learn admin, and second development, and then integrations, and finally we will be going to end up with deployments and a little of lightning experience as well that I'm going to cover. Second part would be your web technology. Third part would be the entire lightning training. So this is how, yeah, this is the what I could say as in brief, what is going to be what is going to be your training, what going to be your syllabus of this training, something like that. Now let's come back to the topic. See, the third kind of service what the Salesforce provide you is IaaS. IaaS. The full form of IaaS is infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a service. The full form of IaaS is infrastructure as a service. Understand one thing. When we say the infrastructure, when we say the infra, we actually refers to server. Servers there are of different kinds, like data server, backup server, file server, disaster recovery centers, right? There could be so many different web servers. Okay, there could be so many different types of servers. But ultimately, what is a server? Server is a storage place. Server is where everything has been stored. Server is that repository which is used to store everything. And whenever somebody access it, it actually have to access it through a proper channel. We call this as World Wide Web, www dot. That is how you usually access that is how you usually access any website. Like you go to the address bar, you can use any browser for that. Google Chrome is recommended, and you just require to type something called as www dot. What is this? This is a World Wide Web. And for example, what is this? The complete address youtube.com is something called as URL, Uniform Resource Locator. Like see, every house is having an address. When a postman comes to your home, and when he gives something to you, to that you have that address, right? The same way in the server, every application, every website has an address. That address is called as URL, Uniform Resource Locator. And this is how you access it from the server. Now, if you are able to see this youtube.com, now this actually means okay, these all videos, these all contents has been, these all contents has been stored over there, and you are accessing it from here. There's nothing that is there inside your machine, inside your system. When you are accessing Make My Trip, this actually means you are accessing it from a server, their servers. When you're accessing things like IDFC Bank, like when you're accessing the things like IDFC Bank, you are accessing this application from their server. So indirectly, what you are using the resources which are present inside the server. Now, if there is any organization that provide you servers, like IBM provide you that, Google provide you that, Oracle give you that. Okay, so these are like we probably every one of you have might have heard their names. They are very big brands in terms of technological market. They are very big brands. They are something called as the shareholders of this whole market, and they capture more than 50%. These three company only capture more than 50%, capital of the whole market. They are providing their servers. Microsoft have their own servers. IBM also have their own server. Oracle also, Google also, right? So any such organization who's having their servers, they provide you the server space. Now, for example, you contacted GoDaddy. You developed a website of your own. You are running a business. You wanted to advertise your business globally. You wanted the people should know about your. See, if you distribute the pamphlet, that is restricted to a limited crowd. For example, you just open a cafe, right? And you wanted it to be get publicized. So what you will be going to do, if you put up some advertisement in the newspapers, or maybe in the print media, or maybe like you go to that radio advertisement, so that is restricted to our city only. But if you probably wanted you to advertise the things globally, so you'll obviously go and create a website for you, and then you require to host it. So from where you wanted to host, when you wanted to host, the website must be transferred to this global servers. So you probably make a contact with GoDaddy, and you'll ask them that I have developed a website of my business, and I wanted to host that particular website. So GoDaddy would provide you that server space, whatever is required, and the kind of services like email service or something else. If you have a contact us page, and you wanted to have a Google Map services, so that somebody could locate where exactly is your shop. So these are the kind, so what is a GoDaddy in that case? GoDaddy is the one who provide you the server space. We could say that GoDaddy is a EAS vendor. He actually provides something called as EAS services, infrastructure as a service. This was the simplest example. And probably with this example, every one of you can understand. Probably with this example, every one of you could understand okay, what does actually EAS means. Now see, when we talk about Salesforce provide you EAS, this actually means Salesforce have their own servers, like Microsoft have, like Oracle have, like IBM have, like Google have. And similarly, Salesforce also have their own servers. That means the whole data inside a Salesforce application, for example, if I go with this application, one second, these whole sessions are being expired. Let me try to log in into any one of my org. For example, if this is one of the organization, okay, if this is one of the organization, So whatever is the data inside all these entities, whatever is stored inside the account, for example, if I go with the account, or let me go with some other, like let's just go with the contact. So if I go with like all contacts, so it is having somewhere around 39 data. If I go with, for example, hiring managers, right? And if I go with the all, so it is probably having more than 570 records, right? So where this whole data is stored, this everything, whatever you see, whatever you see with every, all of these data, all of these data, they are being stored inside the Salesforce itself. Generally, what is happening, I'll tell you one thing about this. See, there are so many organizations, those who I could say that those who provide you SaaS and PaaS, those who provide you the SaaS and PaaS. I mean, they could either provide you SaaS only, or maybe sometimes SaaS and PaaS, like, but their data is not with them. Their data is not with them. Like they provide you SaaS, they develop an application using PaaS, they develop an application and they give it to somebody, they give it to their customers. And when customer is generating a data, they are not maintaining that data at their own end. Rather, they have outsourced the same thing, either from IBM or maybe somebody else, like Oracle or whatever. So we could say that, for example, if there is an organization which is providing you SaaS and PaaS, let's take the example of White Hat, right? So just an example. So Whitehead is probably has having, or maybe the Byju's, they are providing SaaS and somebody is developing. So we could say that it's PaaS. This is just an example I'm telling you. So, and I mean that huge amount of records of the students and everything, and they are storing it somewhere inside an IBM server, or maybe in an Oracle server, or maybe in a Google server. Why? Because probably the applications, somebody who has provided the application doesn't have an ER services. But actually, this is not the case with the Salesforce. Every Salesforce client, everyone who is using Salesforce these days for their business and all that, the whole data, their whole data, completely, the Salesforce complete data is there inside Salesforce server itself. And Salesforce has not taken servers from IBM, Oracle, or anybody else. Rather from the beginning itself, Salesforce created their own servers, and they are gradually increasing that as well. Why? Because Salesforce is growing, and you cannot believe, I mean, how rapidly Salesforce is growing, how rapidly the Salesforce is growing, and how many clients are being added in every day. And that's the reason Salesforce is continuously increasing their servers. So when somebody provide you a server space, we could say that he is actually providing me EAS, infrastructure as a service. And that is how Salesforce also provide you the same thing. Salesforce have their own servers. I'm going to show you that as well. Salesforce have their own server, that to be known in not in a single region, right? The Salesforce server are in three different regions. The Salesforce servers, let me show you that. You have, if you wanted to see, go with this application, status.salesforce.com. Go with this, status.salesforce.com. And after logging into this, just go to the Salesforce services. Salesforce services. Now here you will going to see, the Salesforce have their own servers. They are being divided into three different regions. EMEA. EMEA stands for Europe, Middle East, and Africa. The EMEA stands for Europe, Middle East, and Africa. If you click this checkbox, you will be going to see all of the servers in the EMEA region. And that includes the servers from Dutch, France, okay, and then Europe, and then the servers from France and Dutch, and GBR is, I probably forgot this word. UM is London, and CSR stands for, these are the sandboxes. Okay, so this is about like EMEA region. In the EMEA region, these all are the servers. When you go to the America, okay, this is the second reason. EMEA is the first reason, America is the second reason. We can see the servers inside Brazil, inside Canada, and the North America, right? These are the servers. These all are the servers. See, these all are the servers of Salesforce. Okay. And USA as well. Once again, Brazil. And then CS stands for sandboxes. What's a sandbox? We're going to learn it a little bit later. And the third region is Asia Pacific. Now, Asia Pacific includes AP. AP itself is Asia Pacific. Then the servers from the Australia as well. And the servers inside the India, where Salesforce do have servers in the Bangalore. They are maintaining Salesforce servers over there. And this region is called as India. And so there are a few servers in the Bombay as well. Then the servers in the Japan, servers there are in the Korea, servers are there inside the Singapore as well, right? Servers are there inside the Singapore as well. And CS stands for the sandboxes. So what do you know about, what do you understand without of all this discussion? And don't go with EU. EU just a temporary reason, which usually Salesforce created for some sort of maintenance purpose and all that. EU is not actually any reason. Majorly there are only three reasons. Majorly there are only three reasons: EMEA, Europe, Middle East, Africa, and then America, and then Asia Pacific. So these are the basically three reasons. Okay. All right. See, when we say that Salesforce have their own servers, that means Salesforce is providing you an ER service, infrastructure as a service. And Salesforce doesn't seems to be have just one and two, just one and two or three. No, they are having so many. There are thousands of the servers. There are thousands. There are millions of the servers they are having. They are having millions of the clients with them, and they are maintaining thousands of the server, not just in one country, across the globe. In so many countries, Salesforce has created their servers. So they functionally divided this into three different regions. Majorly EMEA, all of the servers, those who are in Middle East, those who are in like Europe, and those who are in countries in some of the countries of Africa as well. So they have been grouped. They have been regionalized in one of the in one of the group called EMEA. Then all of the servers, those who are in America, US, North America, Canada, Brazil, they have been grouped. They have been grouped into one of the region called America. And then all of the servers, those who are somewhere in the Asia, like the servers in the China, in the Japan, in the Singapore, okay, in the Australia, in the India itself. So they are being categorized, and they have been categorized into in the Korea. See, recently they have started. Probably this is going to be South Korea because North Korea is little hard country. So all of those servers, those who are into this region, they are called as Asia Pacific servers. Salesforce have their own servers. Salesforce have their own servers, right? This is how exactly Salesforce provide you something called as EAS, infrastructure as a service. So in this way, this actually concludes the discussion when we say that generally there are three kinds of cloud services. Generally there are three kinds of cloud services: SaaS and PaaS and EAS. SaaS stands for software as a service, PaaS stands for platform, and EAS stands for infrastructure as a service. And there are only few organizations, not few, actually there are so many organizations, those who provide you different services. But what makes Salesforce a distinguished one is that Salesforce is the only one who actually provides you all three kinds of cloud services. Yes, Chetna, let me give you this command to unmute. 1 second, I'm giving you this command. Yeah, please unmute yourself and ask me what you wanted to ask.
So would you please explain again? Yes, I didn't get.
Yes. Yes, you wanted me to explain 1 second,
Yes,
right?
yes.
All right.
In a simple two or three words, I want to know it actually.
I'll try to simplify as
Oh,
far as possible.
yes.
Okay. See, when we say that somebody is offering us EAS, first of all, we have to understand that what he's offering to me. So he's offering to me a server space. Now, for example, let's consider I am one of the organization and I have purchased some of the server space from IBM. Okay. So for me, IBM is providing me EAS. All right. IBM has their so many servers, and I am the one who has purchased, for example, 20 GB space from the IBM. You could understand me. You could simply see to me as a franchisee of IBM. All right. Okay. I mean, see, if you want, you are one. Chetna is one of the, one of the customer, one of the client who is actually running a business, and for her business, he probably has created a website. You created a website, but see, this website is going to be get launched onto a server, like onto the www dot. So if you have created a website, that website must be hosted. What is this means of hosting? Hosting means bringing the website onto World Wide Web. This is what is the meaning of hosting, right? When you see, if Chetna has created a website, right, for her business, probably by hiring something, by hiring somebody, she has created a website. But all right, the designs and everything has been finalized. Now they wanted to host this website. They wanted this website to be get launched on www dot on the World Wide Web, so that everybody could go to the address bar, and there they could type www dot, okay, chetnacafe.com, something like that, just an understanding. So when it is over there, when it is over there onto the www dot, then only somebody could access. Right now, as you can see, there is no website called chetnacafe.com. Why? Because Chetna has created, but she have not hosted that. Now for the hosting, she obviously require this website, the whole data to be get placed into a server. But Chetna couldn't contact IBM directly, or maybe she contacted. Chalo, मेरी भी जरूरत नहीं है उसमें. And she have written an email to IBM that I wanted, for example, 1 GB space for my website. So what is going to be your charges? So IBM replied, Chetna, we will charge you somewhere around like, $300 for an year, including the hostings and charges and all that. Okay, fine. So Chetna paid that $300, and now she got this, and now she got this space, and now this website has been, uh, properly launched, and now everyone could access it. CCD. Okay. Now, something like that, somebody's accessing it, somebody's accessing it like this. Why? Because this website is hosted. This website is there onto the server. So this is the website of Chetna's Cafe. Understand this. So what Chetna has purchased from the IBM server space. So Chetna could say that IBM provides EAS services, infrastructure. And due to the IBM, I got some space, I got some server space. And now my website is hosted. Now my application is hosted. And you can see this application on the screen. So for Chetna, who is IBM? IBM is an EAS vendor, infrastructure as a service. Okay, so somebody who provides you the server spaces. Now server, there are of different types. You could ask for a single web server like this, what you can see right now on the screen. You could ask for a data server, typically with Oracle, or maybe somebody else. You wanted to store your data. Okay, it could be a payment gateway server. There are so many different kinds of servers. It all depends what kind of services they provide. Server could be a simple data server, a file server, payment gateway server, or maybe as simple as web hosting servers, web services server, kind of this thing, or maybe a backup and recovery server, disaster recoveries. These all are the different forms of the server. It all depends what kind of services you want. It all depends what kind of service you want. Now, when we say that Salesforce is one of the CRM organization where we develop the applications, we develop the applications. And when we develop the application inbuilt, internally would store so much amount of data. Where these data is going to be get stored? Is it like something that the Salesforce ka data is getting stored inside Oracle or maybe IBM or maybe Google? No, it is not. Salesforce have their own servers. Salesforce have their own servers. Whatever the data you are generating inside the Salesforce, whatever the data, for example, if this is an application, I give it to one of the pharmaceutical organization, Merck Corporation. Okay, Merck Corporation. For example, if I'm having something called as a Skyline Cloud Services, if this is one of the application, we develop this application, and we have given this to our client. Now client is using this. So this application internally obviously is generating so much amount of data. This application internally is generating so much amount of data. Where these data is get stored? Where this data is getting stored? Is it getting stored with IBM or Oracle or GoDaddy? No, 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 no. The whole data what a Salesforce application is generating is stored inside Salesforce servers only. That means Salesforce doesn't pay somebody else to get the server spaces. No, Salesforce have maintained their own servers, and not just in one country, two country. They across the globe, in more than 10 countries, they are having their servers. So how they divided this? They don't divided this in terms of country. Rather, they have formed three different regions. They actually have distributed the whole globe into three different regions: EMEA, Africa, sorry, America, and Asia Pacific. EMEA includes all those countries, those who are in Europe and the Middle East and Africa. America contains like countries like US, North America, Brazil, Canada. These are there. Asia Pacific still have like India, and then and your I mean Japan, China, Korea recently, and then Australia as well, Singapore, and they are planning for Malaysia and Thailand as well. I have read some article a few days back that Salesforce has decided to form, especially in Malaysia, probably they are going to they are going to form their server hubs over there in Malaysia. So this is how what does it means by an EAS, that somebody who offers you the server space, somebody who offers you the server space, we could call them as an EAS vendor. Now Salesforce also give you that. Salesforce have their servers, and they maintain their data in their own servers, and it doesn't hire somebody else to store the Salesforce data. No, the entire Salesforce data is with the Salesforce only. That is what. Okay, you understood this? You can ping me on to the chat about this, or still you wanted me to repeat. You can ping me on to chat, because yes, come on, reply me. Otherwise, I cannot go further with this. You wanted me to repeat, or this is okay? All right, fine. So let's go with the next topic. Let's go with the next topic. What is this? This is something I wanted you, a CRM process I already have explained. I wanted you to go and learn the benefits of CRM by your own. Don't just restrict yourself with these all points. Go and Google this term. What are the benefits of using a CRM application? This is going to be your first assignment. Go and have a little research onto this. What are the benefits of CRM, right? And don't this you can of course I mean you can read it out, but I wanted every one of you to go and Google this. What could be a benefit of using a CRM application? Please have a study by your own. All right. Now, I'll be starting with today's what? Today is Thursday. We have one more day of demo. So I'll try to cover this at least. Anyways, so see, we will be going to start something called a Salesforce CRM. So when we learn a CRM concept, typically with Salesforce have their few of the terminologies that you might be know about all those. And this is important to understand. See, everywhere, with every profession, they maintain their own kinds of terminologies. Like if you have seen the doctors when they write something, when they prescribe something, they write it in their own way. We generally call this has to be a medical languages, right? And for example, if for example two lawyers, if they are having in communication with each other, so they are using something called as a legal language, and we being a common person, we don't understand what this is saying, although they are also using the English, but they are having their own terminologies, they're having their own vocabularies. So that could be a reason, we don't understand what he's actually saying. In the same way, when we are learning Salesforce CRM, now for typically for CRM, there are few set of terminologies, and actually it's a big collection. I cannot say that I mean, it would be possible to learn everything. Yeah, but that could be learned. It would require certain time. Gradually, I mean, you right now just start with like 5 to 10 terminologies. Later on, gradually we increase and we came to know about new terms, and we capture those terms. We also understand what is the meaning of these terms. Throughout the training, we will be try to we would also try to make you aware about that kind of terminologies. But कैसा है, थोड़ा सा आप लोग को भी इस पे concentrate करना पड़ेगा. See, I probably have told you this earlier as well. 95% would be the training. 95% from where you will get the information would be training. The main source of knowledge would be your training, and it would cover 95% of your knowledge. But there is a scope of 5% जो आपको करना है. कैसे? Just say right now, I just have give you one assignment. Go and Google about CRM application. CRM I already have explained, but then go and Google it. Try to get some of the benefits of using a CRM application. Now, this is an assignment. If you do it sincerely, go to and you Google. Just give me a moment. All right. So if you do it sincerely, if you do it sincerely, this will increase your knowledge. And if you take it lightly, you will be going to lag off that much of knowledge, right? So how I usually provide the trainings. I always say this to everyone in every batch that see I would cover 90 to 95% of your whole knowledge part, what is required, what is required in the Salesforce. But there's always a scope of self learning. There's always a scope, at least 5 to 10% scope that you could make improvements in yourself. For that, you have to work by your own. When I say, see, the first thing would be like, don't sleep in my class. If you are drowsy, if you are feeling, you are having like lots of sleep, probably because 7:30 is a little bit early for you. It's not for me. I woke up 6 in the morning somewhere, and 5 in, when summer, I used to woke up 5 a.m. and 5 in the morning. So this is unusual time for me. I mean, for one of the project I was dealing, I was dealing with the client who is actually somewhere around, Russian part. So I have to woke up when for that meeting, I have to woke up 5:30 in the AM for next 6 months. So this is an habitual process. It हो सकता है आप लोग का अभी schedule बनने का, and probably that's the reason 7:30 in the morning would be a little bit early for you guys. And when you woke up, आधा mind तो अपना सोने पे रहता है, and with half of the mind you are sitting over there. No, don't sit like that. Don't sit. There is no even Samir Khan sir is maintaining the attendance and all that. I don't bother this. If you wanted to sleep, go and have a sleep. Go and have a complete sleep. I mean, every lecture of mine is we are recording, and we are providing the recording as well, and refer it from the recording. But whenever you are sitting in class, if you are referring it live, if you are referring it from the recorded session, you must attend it. You must attend it with all your 100%, with whole your body and with whole your mind, with whole your consequences. Why? Because there's a scope of learning something new from that 5% portion. Is always be observation. Is always your observation. And if you are not 100% attentive over here, you know, you would not going to capture that. You have to observe where I'm clicking, what I'm saying, what word I have taken. And this is how you are going to make the improvement of that 5 to 10% portion जो मैं आपको कह रहा हूँ. 90% would be covered from the training, from the content of trainings. There's always a scope to learn something new from observation and from the assignments. So see, it's a virtual class. It's a virtual class. I cannot see you, you cannot see me. I can't see. So if somebody is actually sleeping in my class, I'm putting the headphones, sleeping in the bed, and this is how you are. Just like, you watch a movie, this is how you are actually sitting in my class. I cannot see you. That's a drawback of this virtual class. It's up to your own responsibility that you have to sit it, like, you take your laptop. First of all, try to log in always with a laptop, because mobile has a very small screen. Whatever you are looking onto the screen, you must see it in a big screen. So either you can connect your home TV with this lecture, if it's feasible to you. Otherwise, at least join my class with laptop. Try to avoid them joining it from the mobile phones, right? And be attentive in class. Be attentive. If you are feeling drowsy, go and have a coffee simultaneously. Otherwise, if it's still not work, go and have a sleep. Just complete your sleep. And then whenever you refer it with all of your consequences, all of your, what would I say? I mean, all of your mind, all of your full of energy, just go with and watch this. So this is what it requires. So whenever I give you any assignment, do it. I am not going to ask you. I don't have that much of time, understand? I can give you something. And see, this is how we work in real time also. This is how we work. If I assign you a work, I'll just ask you for the result. I'll not going to ask you, are you doing this or not? Because we don't have that culture in IT. Understand? When something is assigned to you, that becomes your own responsibility. You have to complete that, right? Nobody would ask you. Nobody would ask you repeatedly, are you doing this? Are you doing this? No, we just wanted. See, this is something, and this is the milestone date. I have given you the task. You are having, for example, we see. I'll show you something. मैं हवा में कभी बात नहीं करता. So you have to, you have to develop this culture among you. Take your training seriously and develop those practices which we will be going to guide you throughout the training. Why? Because you are going to be a part of this society. And the good part is, like, good part about our group, everybody in group is actually itself is a working professional. All of us, those who are, like me, and the two more trainers, they will going to be get introduce you in the web technology and the lightnings. And your mentors, we will be going to assign you the mentors, and every one of us is a working professional. Every one of us is working for different projects in the Salesforce, for different companies they are working. So everyone is aware about this culture, and they will guide you this. So understand one thing. So 95% of the whole training, your knowledge would be covered from the content. There's always you have to cover that five. You have to work on that 5 to 10% portion. And how? Just try to complete your assignments, right? Complete your assignment. Don't show me this into your WhatsApp group. यहाँ कोई रेस नहीं लगी है. यहाँ कोई मार्क्स नहीं मिलने वाले आपको. ये सब कुछ नहीं होने वाला. कोई एग्जाम नहीं होने वाला. कोई मार्क्स नहीं मिलने वाला. असाइनमेंट करो नहीं करो, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू चेक इट. लेकिन दिस इज ऑल बिकॉज फॉर योर डेवलपमेंट ओनली. इफ यू डू एवरीथिंग सिंसियरली, आपके प्लेसमेंट में आपको इसकी आसानी मिलने वाली है. अदरवाइज इसका कोई दूसरा नहीं है. This helps you out to grow. This helps you out to understand more and more thing about the Salesforce. Otherwise, there's no other reasons. And try to catch the things, whatever is going on in the classes. Just try to catch it. Be attentive whenever you are sitting. Whenever you are sitting in a class, तो पूरा टाइम बिल्कुल ऐसा एनर्जी के साथ बैठो एंड वॉच एवरीथिंग केयरफुली. लिसन एवरीथिंग केयरफुली. टेक योर ओन नोट्स. Never sit like you're watching a movie. Sit with pen and paper. You feel this is something which I should write it down. I should don't forget it. Just write it down. Write it down in rough. You can later on make this as a fair as well. Okay. So this is how you should actually sit in a class. This is how you should sit in a class. Okay. All right. 8:15. I'll start it by tomorrow only. I'll start it by tomorrow only. All right. Let me give you this command so that you can unmute yourself. Yes. Yes, now you can unmute yours. And if you have anything to discuss, you can. Yeah. Yes. Yes, guys. Anything you wanted to ask? Okay, I'm stopping.